day one here with all the other teachers, administrators was make the rubric. Before we get our hands dirty with digging it and picking apart this curriculum, let's go ahead and, like, if this were the ideal curriculum and it's checking off all of our boxes, what are those boxes that we want to see checked?
My name's Courtney Vickers, and I am the Vice President of Diverse Learners at Alliance College Ready Public Schools.
CPM has a lot of very specific vocabulary.
It's on all of us as a network to make sure that we have culturally and linguistically responsive curriculum for our kids.
Knowing each of the scholars' data to know how to support others.
We took the opportunity to invite our teachers as our subject matter experts to come in and help us lead a curriculum audit to get to a point where we knew where we were going to move forward with math, ELA, science, and ELD.
The reason why I want to do some changes because I still love bringing in my own old lessons that I really worked a lot on.
My name is Isabella Coletta. I am a biology teacher at Luskin Academy.
Because they have something called like a navigate, and it can be really helpful for like spiral review, but sometimes it can be kind of inaccessible or irrelevant. So I think
I joined the Alliance Curriculum Audit Task Force because I know that there's a huge need for a curriculum that meets the needs of scholars and is accessible to every teacher at every Alliance school.
I think what was most surprising is that there are so many curriculums out there, and a lot of teachers have experience with different ones and ones that I don't have any experience with. So it was great to, again, be able to collaborate and work through it with everyone.
My first year with Alliance, they kind of let me teach however I wanted to teach. So I did use a little bit of the curriculum I use now, plus all these other curriculums I found on the internet, plus internet resources that I used as a student and that I found during college. It's very, very demanding work to have to make a curriculum, for myself. So that's why I do appreciate the push from Alliance and from my bosses to be like, let's use this one curriculum.
But do you fully understand what that means? Because you may be teaching first and third person, and that's not what it wants. It wants you to understand how the individual feels. Cool. You're quite good at talking through this stuff.
Aisha Lorik. I'm a ELA instructional specialist here at home office.
Because they use the Alliance made assessments instead of the Amplify assessments to fill that gap. I love that.
I immediately could tell all the work that they put in. Hearing about the rubric they created, knowing that surveys had been sent out to teachers, seeing the teachers' involvement, I was like, oh, y'all were really invested in this process. So that was very encouraging to see.
Is there a shift in the implementation that we as a network can recommend?
The way that they put it out to teachers, like opening it up to everyone, I think that speaks to equity. Like, it wasn't just like, I know this teacher or I know that teacher. Anyone who wanted to come, they could volunteer and they could come and they could be a part of this process.
Some schools have tried to use it and haven't had as much success with it, right? So there is that middle school, high school misalignment currently.
So I think it's gonna address the equity issue because if we're all aligned to the same curriculum and we've audited it and we've made sure that it meets the criteria as far as being standards aligned, as far as being culturally responsive, assessing the need and addressing the need of diverse learners, then that means that scholars at different schools are experiencing wildly different experiences, I guess, in their classrooms.
What we're looking at is definitely a paradigm shift.
So you don't want your text to just speak to, because I'm an ELA, so you don't want your text to just speak to one demographic. You don't want it to only speak about the students in front of you. You want them to know about the global world around them.
They kind of just like do it themselves first, and then it's looking at the answer key and looking at the teacher notes. So like, okay, that didn't really make sense to me. What did they say to do here?
I was a little bit surprised. Like, we all landed with the same recommendation, but we didn't all start with that same recommendation in the group that I was in. And so I was like initially worried, like, are we ever gonna be able to agree on something? Like, we have so many like different perspectives, but I think grounding in the evidence and grounding in our teachers' feedback was really helpful to like foster productive discourse that really led us to like an aligned recommendation.
The data is what did it for me. Looking at what teachers are saying, teachers' input is actually made me go the complete opposite direction.
And then kind of also streamlining how Springboard would be incorporated across grade levels or across LPAC, like ELD level.
And those are the ones who are with kids every day. And so they know what they're talking about. And so that was very surprising for me. Even when I said what I thought or like gave my recommendation, I was shocked, like, oh, I don't believe I just said that. Like, what? So I think it was great to have that data and to make like a data-driven decision.